Hey, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Talk Tuesday. If you've been here before, welcome back. If it's your first time, Talk Tuesday is our weekly segment where we go over tips to help you enhance your finances. Today's topic is self discovery when budgeting. Originally, the topic was going to be planning for major life events, but then I realized that October is financial planning month. So I pushed that to October. So every week in October, we'll be focusing on planning a life event. So, hey, thank you guys for hopping in. I appreciate you. All right, so today we're going to just talk about self discovery before I get into it. For those of you who may not know who I am and just tuning in, I just want to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about myself before I get started. So, I am Coach D. I'm a budget coach and I help high achieving women reach and exceed their financial goals while still enjoying life in the process. And I do this by having women come to my Financial Freedom Mastermind community where we have monthly challenges to help you to understand what you're doing with your money, to think differently, to challenge you to see things that maybe you wouldn't have seen otherwise. I have done for you services. So if you're someone who's just so busy and you just don't have time to do things, I create a budget for you. Or maybe you have a budget and it's just not quite working right. I have a done for you service where I'll actually review it for you and let you know what you need to do to correct it or update it or make it work better. I also have a bill schedule service where I create your schedule for a 12-month period for every bill you have, for every payday you have, just so you know when you get paid, what you have to pay. And I had to really think about it and wonder, what should I be paying this time? So that helps you when you need to pay things so you don't have like one check where you're paying maybe $1,000 worth of bills and another check where you're paying 500 and then you just, that's hard because maybe that $1,000 check, if something happens, just throw you all off. So anywho, the point of that service is just to help you to and just have a plan and make it easier for you when you're paying your bills. As far as my work with you service, then I have a 12-week coaching and implementation program where I literally just help you to see what's going on. I look at it with you, I'm working with you, and we're getting to your goals. We're creating a plan for each part you're working towards. All right, so let's get into it. Thank you guys for listening. Um, so we're going to get into self-discovery when budgeting. So um, when we're doing this with budgeting, it's important for you to know where you are with your budget. So before you even get started with it, you need to know where you are, so your budget can actually be successful for you. So working with your plan, you need to know and really look inside yourself and see what you have going on. Think about where your mindset is. Where are you with that? Are you thinking about that? Do you want to actually change things? Are you someone who maybe you say you want to change it, but then really you're not really doing the work, or you do the work, you get to the goals, and then you just stop. And then you kind of work backwards. You don't really keep going. You don't really, now I've got it. Now let me just, keep it going and get to the next one. Not so far that I got it. And then now I kind of do something that throws it off and then makes it worse than where I was to begin with. So then you kind of take away all of your success that you have. Or if you're someone who just once you go, you're on it, and you just keep going until you get to all of your goals and just you got this thing. So it just really depends on where you are in your process. But the most important part is really seeing where you are, understanding what you have going on. So I want to go over 3 things that you should be knowing about yourself. Hey, thank you for tuning in. So 3 things that you should be doing and checking out, while you're, discovering yourself, with your finances. So money is number one. You should be checking to see how much money you have coming in. You should be checking your bank accounts, see where your money is going, see what you have in the bank. If you have multiple accounts, check all of your bank accounts to see how much you have going here, how much you have going here. Make sure that when you're paying your bills, that the stuff has come out already, because that's another thing that can be, hard for you. Let's say you paid some bills and they haven't come out yet, but you don't realize that they haven't come out yet. And then you have other things going on because you didn't look into it or because you didn't check back to make sure it came out. Then that bill might come out and just throw off everything you have going on because you thought it was already out because you scheduled it on Friday and here's Monday. You thought it came out that quick. Sometimes it takes until Tuesday for bills to come out. So be mindful of that and just be up to date on your bank accounts. Look at how much you have, know how much you have, and check it out before you start paying your bills. Sometimes we schedule bills. I know myself, I schedule my bills in advance so that they come out. I try to schedule it the Thursday before I get paid so that they can be coming out Friday and Monday. So come Tuesday, I know, okay, this is what I have left. Everything came out, and I'm safe to do what I want to do. So create a plan depending on what day you get paid, so you can kind of work it out and see what you have going on, and just really get to know and understand the flow of your money. That's very important as far as self-discovery. Know what you have going on. Know if you have something that's coming out. But just be mindful. Check your stuff. Don't be afraid to look at your statement. Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. I got like a penny left. Look, it's better to have a penny in there than being a negative and then getting charged an insufficient fund fee and all that type of stuff. So just take a moment, even if it's not something you want to see, it might not be as high as you want it to be. Just check it out and make sure that it's something in there and it's okay for when you do pay your bills. Number two is the debt. Debt. We want to be looking at our debt. Know how much debt we have. That's another number we don't want to look at. So true. Yeah, sometimes in our bank accounts we don't want to look at it. We don't want to look at it. We're just like, oh, I don't want to see it. But you can't be like that because you can't have success if you don't look at it. You gotta look at it. But with your debt, you need to know where you are with your debt. You need to know how much you have, where it's at, how much interest you're paying. Be mindful of, do you have bills over here? Do you have bills over here? And then sometimes when you have, let's say you might have a credit card with company A, but then company B buys out company A, and then now your bills are due with company B. It's important to keep up with things like that too, because sometimes in the transition from one company to another company, now your interest rate might change. Now your due date might change. So that's why it's important to see what's going on with your debt, to be looking at your statements. And sometimes though, not sometimes, all the time they'll send you, something and letting you know that, this debt is going to be transferred to someone else or something like that. So not only knowing how much you have, how much interest you're paying, and tracking how far you're, going as far as paying it down. Just be mindful of what's happening with it too. So keep an eye on that as well. Number three is credit. Credit. Now, credit is important too. Credit is another one that we're like, oh, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. So we need to know what our credit is. We need to know what the score is, and take time a couple of times a year and actually look at it, see what it is, know where you stand, so that what's going on. Sometimes you have something on there that you don't even know, and it's hurting you, and it could be something that's not true. Everything on there, it doesn't have to be true. Now, some stuff, is probably true. But I mean, if you did something, you did something. But it's just kind of like a report card. Like, we think about it when you were back in school and maybe you might have got a bad grade. Maybe you got like a D or a C or something like that. And you have to get more A's to bring that score back up. You can't just do nothing and think that your score is going to go up. It's not going to go up if you don't do anything new or you don't have any new activities. So don't be the person that maybe you had something bad happen with your credit and then now you don't get anything new. I'm done with credit because I don't know what I'm doing with it. No, you have to get something to, now you have to show them that I know what I'm doing. I can do better. What I did last time was a mistake. And so also keep track of what you have going on so you can make sure you can do things to make your credit score go up and make your credit report better, just like a report card. So be mindful of that. Check it out. If something on there that's bad, you want to get that off. Get it removed off. Don't be afraid to challenge it. Don't be afraid to question it. Everything on there doesn't have to be right. They don't care if they put something wrong on there. And if you don't look at it, you don't know, then you're stuck with a credit score that could be hurting you. And you don't even know because you don't want to look at it because you think of how bad it is. But you can't get it better if you're not looking at it. So I would say check out your credit score. See what you have going on. And those were my three things. So know what's going on with your money, know what's going on with your debt, know what's going on with your credit. Hey, thank you for hopping in. Yes. That happened to you, probably about the credit, about something being on there that wasn't actually yours. Unfortunately, this happens. And we can't think that it can't happen to us because it can. And then you have scammers out there that go and try to, get people's information and go open up cards, go buy cars, do a lot of stuff. That's why it's really important for you to check and look into your actual credit report to make sure that stuff is accurate. And then there's some credit cards, or even if you reach out to the bureau, where you can set little alerts up so you know if anything happens, any type of activity, if it goes up, if it goes down, if an account opens, if an account closes. So look into these type of things so that you can help yourself with that as far as keeping track of where you're at and knowing what's going on with your stuff. I hope today's chat was beneficial to you. Next week, we're going to be discussing meal planning on a budget. So I had got my little notes for everyone, because remember last time I was like, we talked about this, then I forgot one of them. So I was like, oh, it's not going to happen again. I'm going to have my little notes out here. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for being here with me this Tuesday and every Tuesday that you show up. I appreciate you. I thank you for being here. I hope these tips are helpful for you. And I hope in some way they're helping you to enhance your finances. As always, I'm Coach D, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so, so much.